So I took some time off with my family last week. We headed to Whistler for a few days and unplugged after a crazy busy year. That's me with my family zip-lining down Whistler Mountain, and that's me laying in front of the snowmobile with my big crazy family. We were snowmobiling at night. Super fun times. Well, there I was on vacation, unplugging, but my mind never stops, and while vacationing, I was thinking about efficiencies in our industry, both real estate and lending. And if you know me personally, you know I'm all about getting better, faster, and stronger, individually and collectively and corporately, really, always trying to maximize myself and those around me. And lately, I've been thinking a lot about how we solve our efficiency problems in real estate and lending. See, our collective go-to move as leaders and managers, team leads, and owners is to just throw more people at the equation. And I don't really think that always solves the problem. So there I was, sitting in Whistler Village, vacationing and working a little bit in my head, and Gary Vanerchuck drops this little truth bomb on me that spoke directly to this challenge. Take a look. I love this.
There's a basketball game being played, and it's a 5-on-3 game. The 5 players on our side are me, you, other Tyler, D-Rock, and Andy K. Well, stay with me here. Me and Andy K can play a little bit. The other 3, the people we're competing are LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Carmelo. To a game of 50, full court, what do you think the score of that game would be? Me, you, other Tyler, Andy, and D-Rock against LeBron, Durant, and Carmelo, and they really tried. To 50, what do you think the score of that game would be?
I think that we would lose 3 to 50. But I think
Good.
it's 3 points.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
That is the single biggest problem in our company right now. There are way too many people at Vayner and way too many people out there in the world that think you solve things and win by throwing people at them. This is a talent game. You don't need 6 more people on your team to get the work done. You need to have better players.
See, that never gets old. I've watched that like 10 times now, and I still love it. You don't need 6 more people on your team to get the work done. You need better players. This is a talent game. Gary is right, and I love that he calls himself out first, but this is a challenge that we all have, and maybe even more so in the real estate and lending world. What do? Oh, you aren't selling enough real estate? Let's get you a team. A buyer's agent, a selling agent, and a transaction coordinator. Or in lending, you aren't closing enough transactions, let's get you an assistant or a coordinator. Basically, let's just add more people to the equation and it'll solve it. But it won't, guys. Gary V hit it right on the head, and this video is something you should play and discuss with your teams and entire company for that matter. Gary's analogy about his team playing LeBron, Durant, and Carmelo is great. Gary V could have pulled 5 more players from his company onto the court and it wouldn't have changed the outcome. It's not about numbers, it's about talent, and don't get me wrong, I love teams. I love building them. I love maximizing them. I love to see when the plan works and the team wins. We play this people card way too often and way too soon. In my opinion, teams should only be formed and discussed after the real estate agent or loan officer has maximized themselves. When the realtor or LO is clicking on all cylinders and the only reason they aren't doing more business is because they run out of time in the day or need to scale what is already working. The huge key word in that sentence is scaling what is already working. We miss that part of the equation way too often. We seem to think that a person's production is low because they don't have an assistant or a transaction coordinator. That's not true, and if you think it is and you throw people at your problem, you're gonna have a tough time solving it. Throwing people at your problem won't solve it. It will complicate it. Teams should be formed to support what is already working. Then we look to scale the success by adding additional equally talented individuals. That's how we win. That's how we build and scale successful teams and entire companies for that matter. It's a talent game, guys. Gary V, you are a stud and I couldn't agree more, and I'll see you guys next week.
Talent is part of the equation. That everybody wants more people on their team. How about stepping up?